Well, okay, let's see. Bree said we had a really interesting fan art come in from Reshab. Let's look at this. Oh my god, this is wild. Oh, that trickster gleam in Danny's eyes. He looks like Loki. What is this distressed shonen anime expression on Shane? Oh god, I'm dying. No. But thanks for the fan art. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is pretty straightforward, but I don't know. I'm kind of bored with just usual projects. What if I did something different? So, does anyone remember that progress flag made by Rachel Lense? This one. I liked the idea behind the imagery here, and I wanted to figure out a way to use it for the picture in a similar way. But then I found this Reddit thread explaining that, yep, it was 404 because of Trump. It's okay though. Andrew showed me how to use this specific time machine you guys have baked right into the internet called the Wayback machine, and I was able to find the information and breakdown of the flag. I don't know what this video was even going to be beforehand, but while searching for a little bit of artistic inspiration, it became a project of preserving a piece of queer art made by a NASA employee who was also part of our community. So, the image I used for the sky had to be light blue, and so I picked this one, which just so happens to be an image of a large solar flare captured by NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory. The solar flare was extremely intense, classified as an X 3.5. Solar flares of this intensity would heavily impact radio, navigation, satellites, and power grids. The SDO's job is to monitor solar activity and provide us with potential warnings about impacts on the Earth. With the clouds, it just made sense to be clouds, right? This image is credited to Jeff Schmaltz and the MODIS Land Rapid Response Team. It shows a group of cloud vortices above Australia's head island near Antarctica. The phenomenon is called vortex shedding. This happens when different vortices are continuously released downstream, with each vortex having a different rotating pattern than the previous one. And you can see it in the picture. It almost looks like the clouds are being braided. This tree needed a rough texture. So how about this image of the Mars Intrepid crater? This panoramic shot was captured by NASA's Opportunity rover on November 11th of 2010. The Opportunity rover roamed with its twin Spirit for almost 15 years and set several records in the process. Ultimately, the two were tasked with studying Mars sites where conditions may once have been favorable to life. In this time, the Opportunity was able to discover that Mars may have once been able to sustain microbial life. During Opportunity's lifespan, it traveled more than 28 miles before reaching its final destination in Perseverance Valley. Opportunity rover was able to extend its lifespan by 60 times in order to make this trek, and it stopped communicating with Earth on June of 2018. After a severe dust storm blanketed the entire Martian surface. As for the Mars crater, Intrepid means fearless and adventurous, and it was named after the lunar module that landed on the moon in 1969. Nice. For this grass down here, I'm going to use a picture of Clear Lake in California. This is a natural color image provided by Landsat 9's Operational Land Imager 2 in May of last year, 2024. The bright green algae blooms have occurred for millennia. However, there has been a significant increase in harmful algae blooms due to increased human activity in the area. As of last year, Clear Lake wasn't clear anymore. The entire 68 square mile lake is covered in bright green algae. It's a way we can measure our human impact on the planet that is really striking when you see it in the big picture. Daniel's black hair is going to be the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. This tiny black spot near the Orion constellation used to feel empty, but the Hubble telescope focused there for a period of time between September of 2003 and January of 2004. This is actually a series of 800 individual shots that captured nearly 10,000 galaxies. Seriously, the size and scope of the universe is unfathomable, but even so, they've fathomed it. For his skin, I'm using the swirling storms of Jupiter. This image is credited to Brian Swift and was captured by the Juno spacecraft on October 16th of 2021. Juno was on its 37th close flyby when it got these storm clouds in Jupiter's north temperate belt. The scale of these storms is unprecedented, up to 30 miles or 50 kilometers across. The gas giant Jupiter is a marvel in and of itself, named for the Roman god that took over for Zeus. The storms on Jupiter are massive, and its biggest one is the giant red spot. Individual whirlwinds developed by this storm can last for years. However, it's been noted by Britannica, the giant red spot is, in fact, shrinking. In the late 19th century, the length of the spot was about 48,000 kilometers, or 30,000 miles. The Voyager spacecraft measured the spot's length at 23,000 kilometers, or 14,500 miles, in 1979. Since 2012, the spot has become more circular and has been shrinking at a faster rate of about 900 kilometers, or 580 miles per year. If that's the case, we could expect that the iconic giant red spot that has existed since the first time we could see the Jupiterian clouds will be gone within the next 25 years. Man, first they took Pluto from us, next it's the spot. What's next, aliens aren't real? For Danny's shirt, which is arguably blue or gray, I decided to go with this picture of the Great Dark Spot on Neptune. Now, unlike the red spot on Jupiter, these dark spots on Neptune have a habit of going away and reappearing every few years. The first one was observed by the Voyager 2 spacecraft in 1989, found later to have disappeared sometime around 1994, with a new one appearing in the opposite hemisphere. These storms are unique compared to any storms on Earth because they're high-pressure systems. It makes them anticyclonic. On Earth, we associate anticyclonic weather patterns with calm and dry weather, but on Neptune, the anticyclonic dark spots apparently work more like entire high-pressure vortices with very fast winds and cloud dynamics on their periphery. I never know what to call this part of Danny's outfit. A smock, a mantle, a collar. It sort of resembles a type of cloth gorget, a type of neck armor. Whatever we want to call it, I'm going to use this picture of the auroras over Utah. This was taken in May of 2024 by Bill Dunford of NASA over Bear Lake. This multicolored phenomenon was caused by a large solar storm that produced a series of coronal mass ejections. CMEs are large expulsions of plasma and magnetic field from the sun's corona, the area around the sun that we see as light. They can eject billions of tons of coronal material that carry an embedded magnetic field that is stronger than the background solar wind IMF strength, where IMF stands for Interplanetary Magnetic Field. This is according to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. I also cheated a bit here and used the same picture of Clear Lake for the buckle on his belt. It just had an already appropriate color, but for the belt and the bag itself, I used a different picture. These are jellyfish sprites. This type of transient luminous event can occur above powerful thunderstorms. TLEs only last briefly, less than a second, and these were captured by dedicated sprite chaser Nicolas Escorat of Dordogne, France. The source comes from the Spritacular.org gallery, a citizen science project partnered with NASA that works with your average person in order to document fleeting TLEs with the influx of high-powered cameras that are available on the market today. I'm also a member, and sign-ups are free, so if you like photography and being involved in science, I'll leave a link down below. Oh, by the way, this video is not affiliated or sponsored in any way. Shane's hair is an interesting shade of yellow with this geologic map of Io. Io is Jupiter's fourth largest moon and is the most volcanically active celestial body in the solar system. This map was pieced together from images taken by Voyager 1 and Galileo during their flybys and clearly shows the many volcanoes spewing silicate lava all across the surface. I didn't like the idea of using clouds again for Shane's white eyes and teeth, so instead I started searching up different NASA images to help finish up the picture. This one I used is a specific image of Sirius A and Sirius B, the white dwarf counterpart. Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. For reference, it's about twice the size of our central star, and guess what? It's gradually moving closer, growing in luminosity. In about 60,000 years, it will take the place of the southern pole star before gradually moving away. This one is freaky and interesting looking, and I picked it for the slightly similar resemblance to the side of Shane's cheekbones, slowly being hollowed out with stress while dealing with Danny's antics. These are patterns in the sand found in Tanam, Oman. While I couldn't find any direct information on what caused this particular pattern, Oman is home to parts of the Rub al-Khali, or the Empty Quarter, one of the largest sand deserts on Earth. The persistent northwesterly Shamal winds sculpt the sand into elegant ripple formations, often visible from aerial or elevated viewpoints like this image. These next couple things I found as part of an international collaboration between the ESA and NASA to study the sun both inside and out from corona to core. This is the Solar and Heliosphere Observatory, SOHO for short. SOHO was launched back in 1995. The 12 instruments on board the SOHO spacecraft were provided by European and American scientists. SOHO keeps up-to-date information and images that are publicly available and monitor the different activities of our central star. Check my sources down below because it's really fascinating information. The final unique image I used for this project came from a completely different project that has the same spirit and so far has survived the Trump administration's purge of LGBTQ people and art from their sites. The Vanderbilt Museum and Planetarium in Suffolk County, California made a whole litany of space-themed pride flags as well. Lesbian, bisexual, trans, non-binary, and even ace space. So for the green of Daniel's eyes, I picked this image of a 11,000-year-old supernova. The light from this explosion reached the Earth sometime around 1667 CE, but there are no historical records of anyone seeing this. It arrived from the constellation Cassiopeia, a queen in Greek mythology often depicted as boastful of her beauty. And honestly, there you have it. This was a refreshing project. Maybe a little unorthodox from what I usually do, but what do you think? Tell me in the comments, and then like, subscribe, and ring my bell. The original information is still available via the Wayback Machine, and I'll be keeping a copy in my own archive as well. This kind of feels like Monuments Men trying to preserve art during a fascist regime. That's what I'll call this one. Roll credits. Patreon is our main hub for all things involved with Tales of Atonement, and our patron support helps us produce our episodes faster and with more consistency. But what's in it for you? From there you can find our Tales of Atonement Discord server, art, music, comics, as well as exclusive viewership for upcoming scripts. Supporting us on Patreon is what shows us we're part of a growing community of artists, actors, history buffs, and storytellers that have become fascinated with our characters these past couple of years. This is our passion project we've put our hearts and souls into over 20 years, and your support really helps keep that flame alive. Right now, a big thanks to Pammy Poo, Heinrich28, Shadow Fox, Charles Tam, Arya Gamari, Jace Morland, and Lunder Lumen. And of course, everyone who joins us each week. At the very least, I hope you'll like this video, subscribe, and ring my bell if it really resonated with you. And I'll see you again next week. Many a mickle, Maximako.